In the dark hallways of the police station, every rustle around the corner could be your last. This is a world of survival horror with nightmares that are impossible to forget. It's time to recreate one of the Raccoon City's most terrifying abominations, the iconic LICKER. So without further ado, let's get started. My name is Vito, welcome to my humble creative forge. The diorama was originally sculpted in 1:8 scale, which is how I printed it. While you could scale this figure down, I wouldn't recommend increasing the size. The detailing is already at its limit, and enlarging it might result in soft or blurred detail. The entire diorama consists of 7 well-fitted parts that snap together without any issues. However, there is still some essential prep work needed before painting. I also printed separate Resident Evil logo to complement the scene. As with any 3D print, there are countless support marks that must be removed. I also had to fill several technical holes on both the base and the figure. Overall, the preparation process from cleaning to priming took nearly a full working day. Work on this figure is satisfying and it won't give you much trouble. I decided to recreate the RPD diorama during those fatal moments at the end of September 98, capturing the atmosphere of its final hours. A former art museum that became a bastion of law only to turn into a mass grave. The LICKER is one of the most iconic monsters in the franchise, and its debut within RPD Walls is the quintessence of 90s horror. The Raccoon City Police Department is a former art museum purchased in 1968, which explains the unconventional layout, massive statues and gilded decorations. These details are exactly what make the location so recognizable. The primary color of these narrow halls is an olive green or deep teal. This is a classic Victorian interior style often found in historic US buildings. This specific shade is frequently called hospital green. It's technically meant to be calming, but here, in the middle of the decay and abandonment, it provokes a sense of deep anxiety. Then there is the famous red floor. These aren't just wooden planks, they are the station's signature, expensive polished red oak. But by the time the LICKERs arrived, that elegant shine had been replaced by a sticky coating of blood and soot. Raccoon City was a city doomed from the start. The police station is perhaps the most atmospheric location in the entire series. According to the events of Outbreak, hell broke loose in the station long before Jill's last escape or the arrival of Leon and Claire. The station didn't fall overnight. Officers tried to turn the museum into a fortress, boarding up windows and building barricades, yet they overlooked the menace that wouldn't come from the streets but from the ventilation shafts. LICKERs are the result of a rapid zombie mutation. Their presence in the RPD marked a new stage of terror. Their skin sloughs off and their brains expand, making them incredibly sensitive to sound. In this whole, silence became the only hope for survival. The officers never realized that their sanctuary had been transformed into a hunting ground. painting the liquor itself, I tried to capture the image as it appeared in the game. However, some color choices didn't work well for the 3D feature. For this reason, I adjusted the shades in certain areas, and in others I simply couldn't catch the exact right color. I avoided using pure red, opting instead for blood paint or a pink base to create a sticky effect. In reality, exposed muscle tissue has many shades, from soft pink to deep burgundy and the color of clotted blood. I gave the cartilage and tendons a yellowish tint. The creature's brain is painted slightly lighter, with faint pink, flesh and yellowish tones. Finish it with the wet gloss to emphasize its vulnerability. The saliva was simulated using dirty down Snot. It's not the easiest product to work with, but it's definitely better than glue and is much more forgiving of mistakes. To convey the effect of fresh slime, I used a gloss varnish on the tonic. The 1:8 scale allows every detail to be conveyed. The blend of noble red oak, museum aesthetics, and the primal horror of mutation. The entire project took 8 days from start to finish. The painting difficulty is medium, bordering on complex in some areas, but the blood effects and flesh imitation might pose a challenge for inexperienced artists. The feature is finished. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Take care.